Hello again, welcome back to Grace Signature. I am Grace Annabelle. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you my fish stew recipe. For this recipe, I have chosen to use red snapper. You can use any fish for this recipe. It could be tilapia, it could be red mullet, it could be sea bass, sea bream, any fish that you have available. All right, so guys, come with me to my creative kitchen and let's start cooking. Right, so I'm using a teaspoon of shrimp seasoning, a pinch of salt, teaspoon of aniseed, which is in kitchen, 2 teaspoons of vegetable seasoning. I'll be using 1 teaspoon in seasoning my fish before I fry it, 4 cloves of garlic, half a teaspoon of oregano, 2 white onions, and one red onion, 2 habanero peppers, and about half a cup size of ginger. And that's my fish right there. So I've washed this and cleaned it nicely. Okay, so they're nicely clean and ready to be fried or cooked. And here I have my tomatoes. So what I have there is fresh tomatoes, which I have blended nicely and cook it down. In this way, it saves my cooking time. It saves me some time. All right, so I prefer doing it this way. And on this side, 2 tablespoons of tomato puree. So to my fish, I've added a teaspoon of the vegetable seasoning. I will toss this, and then next add in 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. Usually one will coat the fish in the flour, but today for this recipe I'm sprinkling the flour on the fish. Alright, so now I've put in a piece of onion in the oil to test if the oil is hot and is hot enough. So at this point I'm adding in my fish. I'll fry this until I get this golden brown color. Alright, so at this point I'm flipping it over or turning it upside down. Alright, so now my fish is done, so I'll get everything out from the oil and then repeat the same process to the second. So that's my fried fish there. Next, I'll go ahead and blend my onion, garlic, ginger, and the aniseed. Okay, so I've put in the oil a piece of onion to test if the oil is hot enough. At this point, I've added in my red onions. I'll give this a good stir and then add in my chopped habanero peppers. Okay, so I will allow this to cook for about 3 minutes and then add in my blended veggies and spice there, aniseed. I'll give this a good stir and allow this to cook for about 5 minutes. Okay, so after 5 minutes, I'll now add in my tomato paste or tomato puree and then give this a good stir. I'll allow this to cook for 10 minutes. I always make sure that my tomato paste gets cooked very, very well. Okay. All right. So after 10 minutes, I'll then go ahead and add in my tomato sauce. So this is actually fresh tomatoes that I have blended nicely and cook it down. I prefer doing this because it cuts my cooking time. All right. So yes, at this point, I'll allow this to cook for about 10 minutes and I will come back and check on it. Alright, so here you go. After 10 minutes, I can still tell that it is not well cooked because I can see some water in there. So I'll allow this to cook for another 5 more minutes. Right, so at this point, I'm adding in my salt and my shrimp seasoning. I'll give this a good stir. And then next, add in my oregano. So that's half a teaspoon of oregano. I'll give this a good stir. And now allow this to cook for about 3 minutes. Right, so at this point, I'll go ahead and add in my vegetable seasoning, which is a teaspoon. Give it a good stir, and now my stew is done. Everything is gone in there. Okay, so I could tell there's a lot of oil there, so I'll scoop the excess oil. And guys, I'm not going to discard this, so I'll keep it and use it another time. All right, so now my stew has cooked down nicely, and so I'm adding in my fried fish. Okay, and then turn the fish over. I'll flip it over, making sure that the fish absorbs the stew, and then the flavor in the stew also gets in the fish also gets infused into the stew. Okay, so yes, that's infusion of flavors. At this point, I'll add in my ring onions, and then give it a gentle stir. And now my stew is done, and so I'll garnish this with some mixed peppers. So I'm using green bell pepper, the yellow and the orange sweet mini peppers, and the red one as well. See, look at how beautiful this is, guys. And trust me, this is not just beautiful, it tastes great. It tastes amazing. This is incredibly good. It is fantastic. And now my stew is ready to be served. Look at that. All right, so you can use this stew. You can pair this stew with your banku, your kenke. You can have it with rice. You can have it with some gari. Guys, mention it all the Ghanaian carbohydrates you can have this stew with. All right, guys, so that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If today is your first time stopping by, a very warm welcome to Grace Signature. To my subscribers, thank you so much for your support. Make sure before you leave, you subscribe to this channel and turn on your notification bell, meaning anytime I upload a video, it will go straight into your inbox and you will never miss an upload from me. I'll see you again in my next one. Bye bye.